Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to talk about things that are going on, I better explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and are done wrong. Here we go.
This briefing will provide information about an officer-involved shooting involving members of the New York City Police Department. You will see relevant video footage. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers.
Oh, come on now. So, 3 suspect vehicles with people in it. I don't know if it was just by happenstance that they were just rolling like that and they didn't had any thought put into it with the way they were doing things, or if they had purposely did that so that it would be even more difficult for police to try and catch them. I don't think that they were doing it from the mindset of, well, let's have 3 vehicles and then we'll all go 3 separate fucking directions and they won't know who to follow. Because they ended up all being together at the end of this pursuit event. So at one point, the police had already turned off equipment because they lost sight of them. At that point, when they didn't notice any more flashing lights behind them, or even before that, if they were thinking of the mindset of 3 vehicles, 3 different routes, they should have all split up. That one police car can only follow one fucking vehicle, right? So, if one vehicle had the shooters in it or whatever, they could get lucky and continue on while the other 2 vehicles acting as decoys could go somewhere else. So I don't think that they were planning it that way because, like I said, they end up all together. It's just by happenstance that's how they were rolling. Of course, New York is a very large town, and so this instance of having 3 cars of fuckheads in it doing stupid shit probably isn't too far-fetched of an idea. I know around here and in a lot of other places here in the U.S., would probably be just a little bit uncommon. Maybe 2 vehicles, but like to have a fucking caravan of vehicles with dumbasses in it doing stupid shit, not likely. So that just kind of illustrates to you, or to me, that New York is just full of shitheads. I've only been there once. It's been a while back too, and I really have no desire to go back, especially with all the type of crime that's been going on there and that bullshit bail reform that they did. I just don't see it as being a very safe place to go to. But anyway, knuckleheads get stuck in traffic and they can't go anywhere. Now, they do try to bypass other vehicles by driving up on the curb and around them. So, when I talk about defensive driving or offensive driving, this type of activity is what I'm referring to that you should be doing. We got insurance for a reason. Someone's trying to attack you. Get off the X. If you have to hit other vehicles in that process, so be it. You can replace that vehicle. You can't replace yourself. So, this is an approved tactic to get off the X. Now, obviously, they get that. They understand that. They're doing it. They're trying to get away. And they're probably stolen vehicles, too. So they really don't give a shit if they fuck the cars up. Let me back that up real quick. So it looked like he used a window punch. Ooh, too far back. So the people in this car are compliant. This is the one that's not. So he uses, that looks like a rescue me. Shit, where's my mouse at? Yeah, so it looks like he's got his keys here. And that's a rescue me right there. So that's a pretty cool little product. I highly recommend those. So it's 2 things. One, it's a window brake. You see that right there. And then right in there is a little razor recessed inside of it that you can use as a seatbelt cutter. and it has a keychain attachment to it, so you can rip it off your keychain and expose the blade to cut seat belt, and then use this to break glass. So when it comes to breaking glass, a glass breaker is the best thing to be using. I've seen too many videos of people trying to use a baton to bust a window, and it just doesn't work out. Like, a lot of times the baton will bounce off the fucking window the first couple tries before the glass breaks. The key to breaking glass is don't strike at the middle of the window. Go towards the corners of the window. You're going to get better results there. When it comes to window breakers, same thing. Go to the corners. So instead of him pushing right there kind of in the middle, he should be going to the one of the corners right here. And that will bust it out. Now, this window is tinted. So when he uses the window brake, yes, he's going to break the glass. The glass is going to spider web out like safety glass does. But it's going to kind of mostly remain in place because of that window tint film. So once you break the glass, you then have to rake it. So break and rake. This is where, once he pops that glass with that thing, this is where the baton coming out could come useful. Take that baton, get in that hole, and just fucking rake around the whole frame of that window, getting that glass out as much as possible. Or if you've got good gloves on, you can reach in and just push that glass inwards and move it out of the way. Back that up, see if I can get that light to freeze. So yeah, you can see he did punch a hole or make it break right in there, and you can kind of see the glass all of itself has done the spider webbing. I can't get it to pause right on time, I don't think. So there, you can kind of see where it's spread out some. The glass is broke. It's just kind of staying there because it's not able to crumble all the way out. And then you can see just that mere pushing by that one officer's hand caused it to collapse the rest of the way in. So see how it just kind of folded down like that? So at this point, if the driver is non-compliant, one, you could use taser, but two, fucking spray the fuck out of them with pepper spray. If they drive off and their eyes are shut, they're not going to be able to drive very well. They're going to have to stop. Whew, this is a dangerous spot for him to be. Cool.
All right, stop! Stop! Put the car apart! Stop! 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 Stop!
Damn. God, he's fucking lucky.
Stop!
Never go in front of a car that's in gear and someone's in it trying to get the hell out of there. That's the worst place this guy could have been. The worst place. He's lucky he didn't get dragged up under the car. Because that happens with some people when they get run over. They don't just get thrown over the top of the hood and go flying. They get dragged under the car. And when you get dragged under a car, depending on the vehicle, could have a very low ground clearance. And so you're going to have crush injuries at that point. The undercarriage of the vehicle where the engine's at and the transmission, it's going to be super hot. You have third-degree burns potentially. You're going to be dragged. So you're going to have lots of abrasions and lacerations from that. If the wheel goes over you, that's a significant kind of crush injury right there. Cars can be just downright deadly. I mean, fucking deadly. That's why I say, if you're caught up in a situation where you're in your car, it's in drive, and it's fight time, and there's someone outside that vehicle to your front, the best thing to do, instead of trying to shoot through the windshield at them, is just smash that accelerator and drive them the fuck over. V8, V6 will always outperform 9, 40, and 45.
Stop! Pull the car apart! Stop! Stop! Stop!
I don't know what kind of car this is, but like I don't even think this is a police model kind of car. I think New York police just be using any kind of vehicle they can get a hold of.
Shut that shit off! Shut that shit off! Shut that shit off! Shut that shit off!
Put that shit in park! Put that shit in fucking park! Put it in fucking park! Put that shit in park! Put that fucking shit in park! Move! That shit in park! Move that shit in park! Move! Hey yo, get out the car, please! Please get out the car! Please! Please! Where?
Don't fucking move! Did you hear what I just said?
Get out the car!
Did you hear what I fucking
I
said?
don't want nobody to please get out the car! Please get out the car!
Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Don't move! And don't fucking run.
Man, he's so fucking lucky. All right, let's back this up. All right, so we see that she's holding a flashlight in one hand, gun in the other. As I've said before, this is an unfortunate, common thing to see. A handgun only has 2 points of contact to make it as accurate as you can try to make it, as far as a hold on the gun goes. You take one hand off the gun, you are then essentially slashing your accuracy capability in half, because you're just then holding it one-handed. When you have an object in your hand like this and you try to get a two-handed grip, you're not ever going to get a proper two-handed grip. You might as well not even be attempting to do that. You're just not getting that solid wraparound grip that you need with a support hand. You might as well be using one of the other low light carry techniques with a flashlight. Harry's carry, whatever. Just don't do this where you try to put support hand to gun and think you're going to get a good two-handed grip. It's just not going to work. This is where a weapon-mounted light would come in handy. I'm of the opinion that all fighting guns should have weapon-mounted lights. Now, I know that New York is a very large agency, and I don't know their policies or anything, but it's possible they don't even issue weapon-mounted lights because they just can't afford to do it. If that's the case, then it's still on the officer to do the right thing, prepare themselves to win deadly force encounters, and put a weapon-mounted light on the gun, and of course have to get the holster to hold it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is with law enforcement in a lot of places across the country. I don't think people realize that. There are some places here in the U.S. where a person who becomes a police officer practically almost has to buy every fucking thing they use, except for the car, the radio, and maybe the uniforms. Everything else, the gun, some places the officer has to buy their own gun. Their belt and stuff like that, they sometimes have to buy that themselves. Their vest, sometimes they have to buy that themselves too. In larger places like this, some of the stuff is going to be given to them, but some other stuff is not going to be. And I think weapon-mounted lights is one of those, because I've seen so many New York videos where the NYPD guys do not have weapon-mounted lights on their guns, and that's wrong. As I said, all fighting guns should have weapon-mounted lights on them. And if that means you got to pay out of pocket to do that, then guess what? You're paying out of pocket to do that. She has now taken this gun and extended her arm out into an enclosed environment where there's another person right here in front of it. This dude could have instantly become a deadly threat and try to take control over that weapon, and could have very well easily take that gun from her and then use it against her. So I do not recommend sticking your gun into a space like this where you're not going to be able to control it as easily.
Shut up! Shut that shit up! Shut that shit up!
Put that shit in park! Put that shit in fucking park! Put it in fucking park! Put that shit in park! Put that fucking shit in park! Move that shit in park!
So at this point, with him still doing all his stupid shit, this would have been the perfect opportunity to, while still maintaining lethal cover, reach down, pull your OC out, and just fucking let it loose. Fill the whole fucking car up. So what, the passenger in the car wasn't doing anything wrong. He's still going to get it too. Fuck him. He shouldn't have been hanging out with stupid fucking people doing stupid fucking shit. Just fill that whole goddamn car up with pepper spray and then let them come out the car. Because they're going to want to get the fuck out of there after that point. And if they don't, and the dude still tries to think he's going to smash the accelerator, well, he's not going to be seeing very well to go very far. Taser, could be deployed at this point. But, I really think that pepper spray has taken the back burner. And I just don't think that's good. Pepper spray is a good tool, and it should be utilized more often than what it is.
Move! Hey, yo, get out the car, please. Please get out the car. Please. Please, God. Where?
Don't fucking move! Did you hear what I just said?
Get out the car.
Did you hear what I fucking
I
said?
know what it is. Please get out the car. Please get out the car.
Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! Don't move! And don't fucking run me.
So she's the one who fired into the ground.
And don't fucking run me.
So that was a negligent discharge. I don't think she intended to fire that round like she did. I think that she was resting her finger on the trigger when she should not have been resting her finger on that trigger. One of the cardinal rules of firearms is keep your finger off that trigger until you are absolutely ready to destroy what you're pointing your gun at. I don't think she is intending to destroy the street, so she shouldn't have had her finger on that trigger at that point. I like that. Let's see that again. Yeah. Rip that motherfucker out. So this looks like a chair. or something right here on the side of the street. I guess this must be like some transient person's setup right here.
Shots fired, shots fired.
The body cam footage, so it seems like they're all starting off in pre-event buffer. Personally, I think that they should have all been turned on prior to getting out of the vehicle. Even if they do have the long 2-minute buffer on them, I mean, it's a good practice to turn the camera on when you can, because you have that chance of forgetting to turn it on, and then you would miss crucial stuff. So let's see. So all right. So right here, he's resting his finger on the trigger. This is poor fucking firearms handling right here. Like, no, you do not rest your finger within the trigger guard. You index. You keep your trigger finger up along the frame of the gun, not let it rest on the trigger. This is just a fucking recipe of the disaster right here. This is a negligent discharge waiting to happen. There are, and other people call this an accident. It was an accidental discharge. There's no fucking accidental discharges with guns like this. These are negligent discharges. So I guess when we watched her video and we could hear the guy saying, please, 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 I'm assuming it's the passenger that came out of that vehicle that got hit. You know, some people do the damnedest things. Like, this dude's so fucking stupid that police got their guns out, pointing them at people. They've just been smashed into by these fucking knuckleheads. And this dude thinks that he's going to be the savior of the day and go up to this window and say, please, please stop. And then they're going to listen to him. If they're not listening to the fucking police who've got their guns drawn and fucking pointed at them, what fucking chance does this dumb son of a bitch think he has of getting them to listen to him? People like this just need to have the fucking shit slapped out of them and be told to shut the fuck up. Dumb motherfucker. God, people like this piss me the fuck off. Look at them, all up in there. Like, no, hell no. I guess you didn't say please enough times, did you? Stupid fuck.
In the coming weeks and months.
All right. Not much else to talk about on this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.